Buckle up, everybody. It's time to talk about my pronouns. I use the pronoun set ne, nem, near. Ne, nem, near. And it's a gender-neutral pronoun set. It's a neo-pronoun. The word neo-pronoun makes it sound like it's not been around for very long. My specific pronouns have been around for over 100 years. Neo-pronouns are not that new of a thing. We just came up with new words that fit us better. It's fine. An example of how to use them would be the sentence, Ne went to the market with near friends who love nem. Ne went to the market with near friends who love them. So that is nem over there. This is near room. I really liked nem. He was nice. Not all non-binary people like neo-pronouns. Not all non-binary people use neo-pronouns. It's just personal to me.
But it doesn't make any sense, okay? It's f***ing stupid.
So that young lady we just heard from in the first clip used her neo-pronouns in a sentence as an example, and it went like this. Ne went to the market with near friends who love nem. Then, she repeated the same exact sentence, but used the word them at the end instead of nem. If these people can't even get their neo-pronouns right, how do they expect us to? Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy liberal meltdown clown world update for you guys today, and as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So, let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment, so this bearded fella, who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and calls himself a lesbian, took this photo of himself standing in a ladies' restroom. Now, what I find slightly more disturbing than that is the jersey he's wearing with the rainbow on it and the words, "You are safe with me." What?
A little creepy, bro.
All right, let's keep it moving with this lady who has completely bought into the lie from the mainstream media and the Democrat Party politicians that Trump is somehow a threat to democracy. Now, she almost sees the light. I think in another 6 or 8 months, these people are all going to realize they've been duped. Roll it.
This is for President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and all the Democrats that are in office. Do something. Stop this. You tell us for months what a danger this man is, and now he is proving it to everybody, and you guys are nowhere to be found, and nothing is being done. People are demanding a recount. People are demanding something be done. We stood by you. We did everything you asked us to do, and then you just conceded and disappeared. And now we are all facing the hell that is coming. Nothing that we can see is being done about this. Nothing. You need to do something because this is our lives on the line. You want democracy? Fight for it. We're doing what we can. We don't have the power. You do. Fight for it. Fight for us. We deserve it.
Oh, shut up, silly woman.
See, she is almost there. It is hard for people to admit they've been hoodwinked. I say give her 6 or 8 months, and she's going to realize things aren't too bad under the evil orange man and that they were lying to her the whole time. Anyway, next up, so I'm going with things that never happened for 1,000, please. Alex, roll it.
Just got back from the grocery store, and I was standing in line, and in front of me was a MAGA supporter, and in front of him was a woman who was from another country, and he leans over to her and says, "Hey, excuse me, are you from this country?" And she says, "No, I'm not from this country." And then he cut in front of her and said, "America first."
That sounds like some bullshit to me.
Now, when I first saw this next clip, I thought it might be parody, but I don't think it is. I think these people are really this delusional. Roll it.
Vice President Harris did her own chess move. At a gathering with donors, she said we will not be blinded by our blessings. See you in 2025. I repeat, see you in 2025. She didn't say 2028. She's about to do a boss move, and I love it. She knows the election for president for the next term starts now. She looks like she's ready. She looked great. She smiled. She actually looked like a boss. Does she know something that we don't know in 2025? Is she plotting as a Democratic leader to do something big? To get in the way of Republicans and Trump? Is she ready to take her throne? Is she ready to come back and be one of the greatest comeback stories of all time? Is she ready? I don't know. You got to tell me. But she's saying 2025 is the year of the Democrats. Tell me what you think. Because I told you, Vice President Harris is not going anywhere. She's the leader of the Democratic Party. And she said 2025 is the time to be alive. Thank you so much.
You dumb bastard.
All right, next up we have the singing granny who just came out with a new song. Now, we see her from time to time here on the channel when she drops a new release, and generally I can only make it through about 30 to 45 seconds of each song, so let's see how we do this time. Roll it.
New song. When Trump won the election, wanted to die or go to Portugal. So hard to go on living, and the cabinet he chose was deplorable. But days and nights passed like they do, plus the dark night of the soul. And one day a little light came through, and I had a brand new goal.
Your song? It's awful. I hate it.
I'm sorry. I got nothing but love for the singing granny, but I could not listen to another second of that. Maybe we'll find out what her brand new goal is on her next song. Anyway, next up, so this young fella is going to tell us why being a liberal sucks. Now, he thinks it's the right wing that's brainwashed. Roll it.
Great news. My frontal lobe finally finished developing this morning, and I realized why it sucks so bad to be a liberal. Because I am so empathetic and compassionate towards people that don't give a shit about me. Why do I care so much about them? Why do I care that they're utterly brainwashed by this right-wing political machine and politicians that don't care about them, but they're convinced they do? They are fear-mongered into believing they should be fearful of immigrants, women in power, books that invoke critical thinking, the trans community, when there's such a larger issue at hand. We are living in a chess game where we are the pawns, politicians are the kings, queens, knights, rooks, and billionaires are moving the chess pieces. And they will never see that. And it breaks my heart.
Oh, don't give me that liberal bullshit.
All right, next up we have this lovely lady who I'm willing to bet has some daddy issues. Just saying, roll it.
Mega, you know he's not going to get in there, right? You know that your daddy, he's never, ever, ever going to come home to you, right? You do know that, don't you? You do know. That's why you're so angry, because you know it's not going to happen. So then you have to call somebody else daddy. But it's not going to be him. He's not going to be the daddy you wanted. He's going to probably be behind bars, or I don't know. But the one place I do know that he's not ever going to be is in the White House.
I mean, why you gotta be such a bitch?
Next up we have this young lady who made this very emotional video, complete with dramatic background music and everything to try to tug at our heartstrings, but sorry, we're not buying it. Anyway, this clip is 5 minutes and 24 seconds long, but cut it way short. I'll only play about the first minute and a half to 2 minutes of it. Roll it.
To my friends and family that voted for Trump this year, I know you're busy celebrating. I'm sure that seeing my grief makes you uncomfortable. You might think I'm overreacting, being too sensitive, or maybe you believe that I wouldn't understand how you would feel if the tables were turned. But you're wrong. This isn't about political differences. This time is very, very personal. As I look around, I see so many of you on your soapboxes celebrating the looming mass deportation of immigrants. I assume being willfully ignorant that deporting immigrants will only increase your grocery prices and contribute to a downfall of a country that they are deeply woven into. I hear you complaining about the cost of eggs and the price of gas, seemingly ignoring that women are dying every single day because they don't have safe legal access to reproductive health care. Excuse me if I simply cannot wrap my head around such a selfish, short-sighted point of view. The reality is, whether you're ready to hear it or not, your vote for Trump shows me that your compassion does not extend beyond your own backyard. You bought the fear sold by the right-wing propaganda machine. And in turn, you abandoned women, trans kids, immigrant families, convinced that somehow this was protecting your interests, protecting things that were never even at risk. Meanwhile, me and mine haven't slept in days, wondering, come January 22nd, whose rights and safeties will be stripped away first.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, this is that trans influencer named Lily Tino dressed in a Hooters outfit. The caption says, "I'm not sure what's hotter, the wings or me." Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our first sponsor is none other than Pastor Bob Rogers, and our second sponsor is Chris Sampley. Pastor Bob and Chris, thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mention, Pastor Bob Rogers, for leaving a super thanks on the last video. So, Pastor Bob, once again, sir, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So once again, today's video sponsors are Pastor Bob Rogers and Chris Sampley, with the honorable mention going to Pastor Bob Rogers. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of Lily Tino for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Oof.
That is weird. Just a big bulge in your pants.
Now, that is just an outfit that Lily Tino is wearing. Probably bought it on Amazon. He doesn't really work at Hooters. However, this individual, who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman, just got a job at Hooters and freely admits to infiltrating a woman's space. Roll it.
Being a trans girl working at Hooters is literally the most bizarre thing in the world. Like, the dichotomy of infiltrating the space of the straight white male gaze as a trans woman is just so insane. Like, I've literally had customers straight up say the most transphobic rhetoric to me, not knowing that I was trans, and I'm just like, okay, period. Like, what else do I say? Just seeing how open people are with their prejudices is so insane. I don't know. I'll never get used to it. Ever, ever.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. I'm stripping.
So over the past few years, we've been seeing a bunch of these priests and pastors and ministers that aren't very traditional. Now, I know I say this every time we see a new one, but church sure has changed since I was a kid. Roll it.
Morning, y'all. My name is Russian Kimball. My pronouns are he, him, his. I have the privilege of serving as the pastor of Broadway United Methodist Church in downtown Orlando. And also my drag name is still a work in progress. So if you have any ideas, just please let me know. There's one floating around, but I'm not going to share that one with you. But I'm still taking other suggestions.
You're all going to hell. Goodbye.
Now, we often see these pictures and videos here on the channel of these extreme body modifications, or body mods, as the cool kids say, as far as tattoos and piercings and such. And I do believe we've seen a picture of this young lady before. It looks like she got some new ink since the last time we saw her. Looks great.
You look ridiculous.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of Minnesota Governor and Kamala Harris's pick for Vice President, Tim Walz, proving to everybody that these people still have no idea why they just lost the election. Can't believe he said this on camera. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time. Love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
I think we're going to have to understand what type of leadership do they want. We were pledging to be inclusive. We were pledging to bring people in. Donald Trump has said that isn't what he wants. And so if that's what America's leaning towards, I guess for me, it's to understand and learn more about America, because I thought that they were going to probably move towards a more positive message.
What did you say? What the did you just say?
We were pledging to be inclusive.
Enough with the woke shit.
And you ain't black.